Docs. FBI pressured Americans to sign away their gun rights without a court hearing. And I don't put anything past the slimy, corrupt FBI, horrible organization that I believe need to be disbanded. It seems like they're doing everything they can to get rid of all your constitutional rights. They don't care anything about the Constitution. And they're supposed to be there to protect the people and the Constitution, and they're not doing that. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. And there's also a link to my Twitter. Where I'm very active on Twitter. I'll be putting a lot of stuff out there, and very, very active on Instagram. Check out my Instagram, JJ the psychotherapist. On Instagram, what I do is I put out a whole bunch of news throughout the day, where it keep you informed. And the news that I post up there, they're little snippets. They're little synopsis that's like take you about 30 seconds to a minute to read. So if you're in a rush, but if you're in a rush and you want to know some stuff that's going on around the world, you can check that out and read those quick read articles. All right, let's talk about this news. Amid a national crisis of confidence in the Federal Bureau of Investigation following years of revelations, the agency has repeatedly abused its powers to rig elections for Democrats. Newly public documents display yet another FBI abuse of power. Documents obtained by the Daily Caller reporter Gabe Kaminsky indicate the FBI has secretly pressured an unknown number of Americans to sign away their constitutional right to bear arms without being convicted of any crime in a regular court of law, another constitutional right. And again, they don't care anything about the Constitution or laws. They're gonna do whatever they can to take away those rights from you. I never trusted the FBI. And these people that's going around saying, oh, all of a sudden you don't like the FBI. I never liked the FBI. Back when I talked about how they used to spy on Martin Luther King and try to set him up and stuff like that. Then you got COINTELPRO, what they did to the Black Panthers, and all of this stuff. So people like myself that's informed on history, and black people like myself that knows about how corrupt the FBI is, we've been warning people about the FBI for a long time. It's just now the rest of America is catching up on how corrupt the FBI really is. The existence of a form that FBI employees have reportedly pressured Americans to sign after appearing at their door was uncovered after a legal battle to get the FBI to answer an open records request from Gun Owners of America. And good on them. They're doing great work to uncover this. Quote, the people targeted with these forms are not otherwise prohibited persons and have not committed any actual crime with which they can be charged. Robert Olson, GOA's counsel, told the Daily Caller News Foundation. The FBI claims it discontinued the use of the form in 2019, but the obtained records show the FBI used the form to deprive American citizens of their natural rights outside the constitutional mechanism of a proper trial in U.S. courts at least 15 times. Quote, the FBI declined to identify any statutory jurisdiction for the forms, Kaminsky writes. Several of those the FBI pressured into signing the form were investigated after being reported as making threats of violence on social media. Many leftists considered disagreeing with their views to constitute violence. That is the rationale big tech companies that control what Americans can see online use to ban those who say men can't become women, including the Federalist senior editor John Daniel Davison. In the United Kingdom, people have been visited by police for disagreeing with leftist gender ideology. And in Finland, a member of parliament has been prosecuted in court for quoting the Bible on homosexuality. This is crazy. So just because you're not staying with the mainstream views, they're coming for you. You can't have your own opinion whatsoever. Anything contrarian is they're trying to make illegal, effectively. The Biden administration has also defined many common political views of conservatives as domestic terrorist threats. Last week, President Joe Biden associated the 74 million Americans who voted for his opponent in 2020 with, quote, domestic extremists, or in other words, a terrorist threat. In 2021, Department of Homeland Security memo gave as examples of domestic violent extremism views shared by tens of millions of Americans, including supporting only legal immigration, which is nonsense. What's wrong with following the law? We want it legally. Raising concerns about mass mail-in balloting, and objected to stupid 19 lockdowns. Half of independent voters and 68% of Republican voters think the FBI and Department of Justice are corrupt, according to a poll out 2 weeks ago. FBI whistleblowers recently told Congress the Biden administration is demanding they reclassify cases as domestic extremism to pad their number and inflate this threat. This is only one of a cascade of recent public disclosures demonstrating the federal law enforcement agency's mass corruption, and I think it's a lot larger than what we are privy to right now. We need more whistleblowers in the FBI to come out and speak to this illegal stuff that's going on, because we have a right. And when you work for the government, you have a right to disclose any illegal dealings that's going on within the government. That you have certain whistleblower protections. I don't care what the head of the FBI, Christopher Wray, been saying about them going to Congress and all that other stuff. You have a whistleblower right to if you know anything illegal going on in government, to speak out against it. You have that protection. And where was all this going on when people was coming up out of the FBI leaking all this stuff when Trump was in office? You don't hear anything about how bad whistleblowers are back then. But now all of a sudden they're coming out and speaking about the FBI corruption. Now all of a sudden whistleblowers is a problem, and they don't need to be going to Congress and admitting this stuff. But let me know what you think about all this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out themarkrepublics.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.